saga, and that was great. And then, of course, I saw my name trending, and I foolishly clicked on it, and I found out that someone took yet another short snippet. Someone took yet another short snippet of the stream and posted it on Twitter, and then certain communities went after it, and they got very upset. I mean, they got very upset. And then, of course, quarter pounder, chicken McNugget boy, like every weirdo with a mid-tier falling off hashtag, ratio plus you're white plus take the L. Every piss boy with a YouTube page decided to take the clip chimped video and like do zero additional investigation. And my hate watchers were popping off. Unfortunately, they're not really popping off that hard. They really can't get that. They can't get a lot of traction, surprisingly. But they were just like, oh yeah, we got it. And then Marche came out and was like, what do you mean? We're joking about him not paying me, you idiots. I'm literally like, I own a third of the pod. It's a co-op. Like, I own a third of the podcast. Like, I'm getting paid incredibly well and also have the opportunity to literally build something as a producer. And I thought that was really funny that people literally were so desperate. Like, they were so desperate that they wanted to make something stick that they literally went with this. This was the original 2 pods. So we're launching. Should I even say it? Yeah, we are going to launch the. At this point, it doesn't matter though. Like, it doesn't matter. My editors are happy. My editors have literally had to defend themselves against these psychos. My editors have had to defend themselves against the dogpiling from these psychos. Okay, where literally like they'll be like, nah, you're under Stockholm syndrome. Like, he has a gun to your head. That's why you're not advocating for your best interest right now. I'm like, dog, what the are you talking about? Like, they literally, everyone that works with me, okay, not under me, with me, has full-blown freedom. Like, full-blown freedom. Editorial freedom. Maybe too much freedom. Ostonox. Okay? You know what I mean? Like, all jokes aside, though, like, these are people I see as peers, not as, like, employees or anything like that. And I live by that standard. So it's really funny when these like literally took something completely out of context because it's like clip chimped, right? They cut it. This is the end of an episode. I'm tense because I thought Big Mike was not showing up. So I'm like, should I even explain this right now? And Marche is like, yeah, let's do it. Let's tell him. So I basically mention it. They clip it out of context because immediately after that, I describe like what this is, right? Like, I'm paying Marche out of pocket, of course, for everything. But since this is a new venture and there's like we're putting out more stuff and we want to do like crazier with it and additional, like, you can get like additional stuff on top of that. If you want the extra content, which is only an extra hour plus like additional things like being in another Discord server, things like that, then it's $5 a month. And it's literally a cooperative. Like, I didn't even come up with this on my own. It's me, Will, and Marche, which is why Marche gets a third of the revenue generated. That's how this works, okay? This is a cooperative corporation, which is hilarious because all these weirdos constantly were like, dude, why don't you do a co-op? Why don't you set a co-op? And then I set a co-op and they go, well, you. Why don't you just literally, like, why don't you just light your money on fire? Like, how dare you put out a product which you will, ask for additional revenue, so it's a self-sustaining operation. That's crazy. That's like an insane take, like an absolutely insane take. And they tried to like find anything they could. Dude, I have to read some of these because it's really funny. Like, some of these takes are actually hilarious. Look at this. Look. One of the psychos that's like been at it for many, many years literally just said, I at a point I was like, all right, I have to respond. Well, Hasan is basically Uber Eatsing it up here. Well, I can't afford to pay my editors, so you should. You wouldn't want my editor to go hungry, would you? It's the U.S. tipping culture, but for an e-celeb. How is this man taken seriously as a leftist when he exploits labor like this? This is a cooperative corporation, okay? It is a cooperatively created podcast, okay? So this person then goes, once they find out, because like Marche came out and was like, you guys are stupid. You guys are idiots. Like, because the Quarter Pounder was saying this too. Okay, Quarter Pounder was popping off. And then Marche said, insane that I need to clarify this because we're clearly joking when we're talking about not paying me. But along with getting paid a competitive base amount, I also own a third of the podcast and its revenue, which makes me feel incredibly fortunate. I own something I'm also building. Okay, like a peer. Okay, if you consider yourself anywhere adjacent on the left and you are literally aligning with the Quarter Chicken Pounder and a bunch of libertarians because like you think they are, you think they're like owning a guy you don't like because you're going to be able to, you know, build clout off of this, ultimately to then turn around and cry about how, oh my God, this guy, because like the next step of this always is, oh my God, they're bullying me. They're bullying me. It's like, bro, shut the up. What do you mean bullying you? You're a adult. You knew what you were doing. You have a decent, sizable platform. You wanted a nice little boost. And then what? When I say this should be your moment of self-reflection, but instead you try to shift the blame back to me with more completely made-up accusations after admitting the latest one was false. Like, so as an update, apparently Hasan was kidding and Marche is being paid. That's good and all, but people didn't believe this on face value for no reason. Hasan can play the victim all he likes, but he only has himself to blame for his poor reputation when it comes to paying his editors. No, I don't. I have quite literally you to blame. You and other people like you who have been at it, as one of my editors correctly pointed out, since 2019. It's like, I'm sorry that you have brain damage, okay? And yes, that is ableist, okay? If you're on Twitter and you do stuff like this, you're mentally ill. And I know this because I'm mentally ill too. So shut the up, okay? Don't pull the, oh my God, these guys are ableist. Like, shut the up. We know what communities you engage in, okay? Don't try to weaponize SJW. You've been schizo posting for the past 3 years trying to get me canceled. You are mentally ill. Touch grass. Stop doing this. It's not good for your mentality. You're not even getting like the growth and prosperity that you wanted to get by orbiting certain communities. Like, please, it's not working. Just there's no harm in saying, you know what? I'm a content creator. This thing that I've been trying to do, I felt like was a good and easy way to generate a little bit of drama and farm a little bit of karma on the internet. It's not working. Move on to something different. Thank you, Linda, for the 25. Get the subs. These people get clout for making you mad. You specifically, don't even put them on the screen, dog. Anyway, it's just funny because like this was an incredible take. I love the implication here even more. Even though I misconstrued this situation, he should really worry about how easy it was for me to do it, given the reputation I helped give him the last time I misconstrued a situation. It's crazy. These people literally are like, I can't believe this guy found himself in drama again, as I'm literally farming drama for him off of something that is like exactly the opposite. I'm telling you, these guys are nuts. I saw another group of people that were like popping out because every time my name gets on the trending tab, the same weirdos, like the same exact weirdos. What is this? Here's the original 2019 tweet before it was deleted. What is, oh, she deleted her tweet right after I berated her back in 2019. Anyway, good tweet. All these talkers on here, you're just another view on the stream. Thank you for your support, you beautiful people. Yeah, I mean, they are. They're helping. They're helping. Get the cloud up. Amazing to see all of these supposed far-left communists and socialists defending a well-off streamer not paying his workers because, well, the guy should have said he wanted money when it was pretty obvious in the logs. Wow, you guys sound like Ben Shapiro. Why did she delete that, you think? Because she did the exact same thing last time around, and when I dunked on her last time, she deleted the tweet, and then now she's back 3 years later. She's like, this will work this time. 4 years later. So remember, when you see like wild on the internet, there's a range of charitability. There's a range of charitability, and it's just like they've been trying for 3 years, 4 years, swarming around the same over and over again. And every single time, because there's a lot of deranged people, right? Like on the internet. And every single time they get like one guy, two guy, three guy, you know what I mean? 3 guys to like join their side and be like, wow, I really like this Hasan guy, but you know, I thought something was weird about him. Well, I guess this is it. And it's like, it could not be further from the truth, but it doesn't matter. They do this every time. No matter what happens, because they have built it in their minds that I am the most evil being on the planet. So no matter what happens, they will try to swing and figure out, no matter what happens, they will move they will shift goalposts, they will motorize the goalposts, they will fly off the hinges and they have nothing going on in their lives. I mean, they're like one level above the deranged, like the deranged mentally ill stalkers. You know what I mean? They are the same pretty much, but like with a little bit more clout. And that's pretty much it. It's just funny because like it's yet another great example of how easily like spreading misinformation like this has staying power. And then any mechanism of pushback against that is like immediately considered you're a bad guy. You're being a bad guy. It's like, yeah, no, you're the bad guy. You're a bad person. And most people know you're a bad person. How incredibly disconnected from reality do you have to be to genuinely think that you have so much influence you can be the worst thing in the world, Lamau? I mean, it's because it's the same as like people that exclusively watch Twitch and assume people that exclusively watch Twitch and assume that like Twitch streamers are the wealthiest, most powerful entertainers on the planet. It's not in good faith. Yeah, I mean, of course it's not in good faith. This dude says, yep, I'm sure he owns it just like when I make money on Amazon. It's like I own heckin' Amazon. So epic, bro. The point is more money in Hasan's pockets. Don't be naive. I'm not going to hate on Hasan for no reason, but bro, just be honest to yourself. He's not going to suck you off. Shouldn't Hasan, a literal millionaire, just pay his editor out of his own pocket rather than starting an entire revenue stream to pay him? Seems more Bezos than Bernie. Maybe I'm wrong though, lol. I don't like... This is literally like being like Hasan is selling merchandise instead of literally making merchandise and just giving it away for free. Like, it's a new product. You are wrong. It's an entirely new product. Dog, I got 8 hours of free content here every day, okay? 8 hours. You can sit here. You could be a hate watcher. You can write the dumbest shit in the chat. You'll probably get banned, and then you'll cry about free speech and then become even more psychotic in your stalking endeavors. Then on top of that, I have another podcast, because I want to make different kinds of content, okay? And I want the podcast to be self-sustaining, okay? So then on top of that, I give you another podcast where you get additional free content in the form of a podcast. And then on top of that, the podcast is not just me. Why should I be paying like Will and Marche? Like these are my peers, okay? We wanted to launch something together. And it's like, no, dude, no. There should be no paywall, no podcast. They shouldn't make money. All the money that they're making, you should be paying them for the podcast. It's like, why would I do that? Like, why is socialism charity? Even when it's like literally people like Will who make a load of money as well, too. Like, that's the other thing. They cried for years about like, why don't you build a co-op? Why don't you build a co-op? Then I make a co-op and then they're like, well, not like that. I actually don't want you to build a co-op. I just want you to, empty out your pockets. I do empty out the pockets. I raise a ton of money for funds, mutual aid, charity. None of that ever gets mentioned by these pieces of shit. You know why? Because they don't give a they don't care. They don't have like any sort of legitimate interest in like advocating for what's right. They don't have a slant towards justice, okay? The original editor not being paid drama was miscommunication. The editor didn't specify he was looking to be paid. Hasan wrongly assumed it was a viewer volunteering to edit some videos. Very common to have fans who edit. When the editor was asked to be paid, he was paid. Like, I'm not even hell-bent on defending Hasan here. He was wrong to make that assumption back there. I just think you're making a bigger deal than it actually was, law. Like, this person is not even like is not even on my side on this. I'm sorry. Stop trying to couch your jealousy in additional... Stop trying to couch your jealousy because you want a media job that's successful and it hasn't been successful yet. And I'm giving you the opportunity to make a successful slant for your media career as someone who has one, okay? But stop trying to couch that in like some kind of moral conquest. Like, there is no moral advocacy here that you're engaging in. You're just a psychotic hater. Stop posting, make good content, shut the up. I know Ostonox made the y'all are getting paid meme, and then I said, dude, come on, and then he posted this. Anyway, they unironically think you're ontologically evil, yes. And no amount of y'all mad Hasan paywall this content. I stole 59 million views off of his content in 1 year. We are not the same. Anyway, when I mention this stuff, for the record, when I mention this stuff, it's not even, it's not for those people to change their minds, remember, because this is not a debate. Debates don't actually end up changing a lot of people's minds regardless. All those dudes are about is moral consistency, that anyone move the needle for their personal view. It's actually the most useless endeavor to satisfy these people. I'm not. I don't care about these people. I'm not even reading into any of this. They are completely irrelevant. They are gnats, okay? They're little flies. Why the do you have to pay? Look how much likes. You paid an exposure? Wow, people so ungrateful these days. Thank you. You're right. I shouldn't even sarcastically agree with that because it's just like these people are bananas, dude. You see this yet? Unrelated. I wish I would have signed a contract to keep my part of the business I helped my former friend run. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna blast off in a second. But hey, the pod with Jeff was great. Can't wait for you guys to have Big Mike too. Yeah, it'll be awesome. But yeah, no, it was a great podcast overall. There's another great podcast happening. There's another great podcast that we shot with the Chapo Boys. That'll be blasted off too. And yeah, did you give your customary reminder on chat not to harass these freaks? Yeah, you shouldn't harass those freaks. I mean, if you see someone on the internet obviously like saying wrong things, you can clarify if you want. But the main purveyors of this kind of misinformation, the main like misinfo writers, you not hiding the amount of Patreon's revenues. Hey, if you like this video, please subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any future videos.